Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down. All the way down.
All the way down.
All the way down. As much as we can break down Hard to Kill, we're going to do it, by God.
There's levels.
So many
so
levels.
much meaning.
Oh, my God, the subtext.
So much symbolism and yeah.
I mean, look, I feel like we wouldn't have the movie Nosferatu without Hard to Kill.
Let's do it. Set
Oh
a
my
new
God.
standard
Yes.
for action cinema.
Unbelievable. Weird to think that this was only 2 years after Die Hard.
It is. It's weird when you see movies that feel like they're such a step back.
Yeah.
Like it's a regression,
Mm-hmm.
the genre.
And I also just think that John McTiernan was just like, he just figured something out about action movies.
He knew something that no one else knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think was it Roadhouse? I think it was like 89.
Yeah.
And it's like this feels like a movie that should have been like 1983 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
like
exactly.
it feels so like outdated already.
Mm.
But that's neither here nor there.
No. That's not what we're here
this
for.
This movie wishes it was Roadhouse.
Oh my God. Does it? Are you kidding me? It looks up at Roadhouse.
Yeah. This is Hard to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
What a shit title.
Dude, Hard to Kill is a shit title, but it encompasses everything that Seagal thinks about himself.
Uh-huh.
Right? You can't keep a man down. Like
he's indestructible. He's basically a Terminator.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Working for the side of good.
Yeah. We all thank you for coming back to listen to more of this shit.
Absolutely.
You're
man.
like willing to take the abuse along with us.
God
no,
damn. We
honestly,
love going on our journey with us.
Look, these movies made money.
Oh, yeah.
Seagal's movies made money back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
They were made for dirt cheap, but they made 5-6 times their budget. Like people were watching this shit or renting it or whatever. So I mean, it hasn't aged as well as other movies, but it was connecting with audiences in the time, apparently.
Yeah. For a while. I mean, Seagal had his moment in the sun, and then he did Fire Down Below, and that was the rest of it.
Yeah, Glimmer Man and all
Oh
that
my
other
God,
shit he
yeah.
started making.
All the direct-to-DVD movies that he
they
did.
were all like, I'm an environmental warrior
yeah,
or some
right.
shit.
Dude, I will never forget Fire Down Below, where the movie ended at around the 85-minute mark, and it goes on a 10-minute monologue about climate change, actually.
I've never seen this.
Yeah. So he's like this. He's a white guy raised by Native Americans, so the classic white savior, and he is trying to protect his homeland from a evil oil company trying to drill oil on their native lands, which is like still relevant today to a certain extent.
Okay.
And of course, he murders a bunch of people, blows up an oil refinery. The movie ends, and then it cuts to him giving a speech.
Like in character?
In character,
Okay.
wearing his Native American garb in front of a bunch of news organizations. And it is like, it feels like, I bet it's not, but it felt like it was a 10-minute long speech talking about climate change. I'm like, dude, what is going on here?
And now the dude is buddy with Vladimir
Putin, man. How things change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not?
Anyway, we're here back for part 4. This is a movie.
The penultimate
episode.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Well,
You're going to try to
I'll try to
explain
sum
what's
it up.
happened in this film?
Man, it's a dense one. Like, okay. Anyway, Mason Storm, ridiculous name. He's a cop. He's tracking some thugs in the beginning of the movie. Stereotypical mafioso types are talking to a mysterious man. He's recording this all on a camcorder. He makes horrible noise because he's a terrible cop. They chase him down. They track him back to his house. They murder his wife, presumably murder his kid. He's dead, right? As far as anybody knows.
Right. Yes.
They bring him to the hospital, but they actually resuscitate him. His buddy O'Malley keeps him a secret. No one knows he's alive. He's in a coma for 7 years. He wakes up, is immediately found out somehow, it's unclear, that he's in this hospital and he's alive again. Goons who are also police officers, maybe?
Yeah.
One of them shows up at the hospital, murders a couple of dudes. He escapes just barely with a nurse, Andy, who's got a hard-on for his tiny dick. They go to a massive ranch that's filled with Chinese shit. Training montage. He gets back into shape. They fuck. Andy goes to check on her friend Martha. She's not there. Apparently, she's been murdered, and she's been found at Andy's apartment, which we'll never address again. Unfortunately for her, 2 cars worth of goons are watching her at this apartment complex. She leaves, and goons follow her, and now we're caught up.
Dude, that was impressive. That was impressive, my guy.
One of my superpowers is summing things up.
While drunk.
Yeah, while drunk. Yes,
that's
exactly.
amazing, man. So
cheers to that.
Back at the ranch, a storm is returning after, I guess, having spent the entire night at the cemetery.
Right.
O'Malley is there waiting for him, but he sort of ambushes him for some reason. He's like, "Storm!" Which seems like a good way to get yourself shot.
Definitely. We know Storm is packing.
Yeah. The 2 men hug it out. O'Malley reveals to Storm, your son is still alive.
Woo-hoo!
And he's thriving. He's the star of the track team.
Finally some good news.
Whatever, we've been raising him up. Dude shows him a whole bunch of pics that he had of like O'Malley and the kid doing fun activities, except that they were dressed the same, like in every picture.
Right.
Where it's like, these are definitely all taken on one day of like going out to take some pictures for the film.
Fucking, this wasn't even first AD work. This is second AD work.
For sure.
Yeah.
So O'Malley and his wife apparently took the kid in when he showed up at their house on the night of the murders. Now, unless they live very close by, a kid that age is not going to be able to find their way to someone else's house.
Not a chance in hell. I've got to believe that it would make sense. I'm actually
going to live a few doors down. Then
I'm going to steel man this movie. I've not done that a lot in this one, but yeah, I believe that O'Malley lives like 2 doors down.
Okay, that's the only way that like a kid who's like 6 or 7 could ever find their way.
And to explain the whole Uncle O'Malley thing, like they're really good buddies,
O'Malley.
And he comes over on a regular basis, and they do the outdoor barbecue.
Absolutely.
Then it makes sense.
So now O'Malley says, we staged a funeral for the kid when we had a funeral for you and your wife. I don't. Is that a thing you can do?
I mean, if you pay a mortuary guy
to
enough
play
money,
ball,
I guess.
And you bury an empty casket for us.
It seems like it's another loose end that could very easily be exposed.
If the goons were really hardcore, they could find. There's no death certificate for this kid.
Right, exactly. I feel like if it was really important to kill the kid, and they clearly didn't get the kid on that night,
right? They should have known that there was never a body recovered.
Right. So exactly. So when all of a sudden, we didn't kill the kid, so why is the kid dead?
Why is he dead?
They would immediately be looking into that, but whatever. Let's not overthink it.
No. We'll never finish. We'll never. But basically, O'Malley and his wife, they've been raising this kid under a different name. They have him in a boarding school nearby. I would have thought there was probably other family members, like aunts and uncles, grandparents, who are they've been all being lied to that the kid's dead now?
Apparently. I don't know. Maybe Mason and his wife's parents were all dead. Right?
Yeah, they were all dead. Everyone's dead. We're both only children. All of our parents are dead.
All are dead. Yeah. We have no family, no cousins, nothing.
O'Malley confirms that the old lady from the nursing home was his mom. O'Malley says, we used that phone number that Andy had left at the place to find the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
So Storm says, I can never thank you enough for what you've done for my son. Meanwhile, we got Andy. She's cruising up the Pacific Coast Highway, oblivious to the fact that there's just obviously cars following her.
They're not even being subtle about it.
How would she not notice this? I don't know.
God.
It was also the same exact camera setup as when they drove by before, like driving right by the porta potties.
Yeah.
The same cars were parked like on the side of the road or whatever.
It was pretty clear that they did the shot.
They filmed all that in like 30 minutes.
Right, exactly. Like, again, that wasn't even first AD work. This is second AD
Absolutely,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
So back up at the ranch, O'Malley and Storm, they're crushing beers as O'Malley fills Storm in on some of what he missed out on. They're crushing those Miller High Lifes.
Ooh, you gotta love the high life.
Yeah. O'Malley's like, I found the cassette tape in your vest. I listened to it 1,000,000 times, kept listening for phrases that repeat, but I never got anywhere on it. It's like, wait a second. So Mr. Phrases that repeat, did it occur to you at any time in the past 7 years that we got this guy Trent who says you can take that to the bank every fucking time a microphone's in front of him?
God.
Did you listen to the bit where he says, like, you can take that to the bank guy was scheming about how I want to kill the senator so that I can get his office?
Oh, my God, dude.
The office that Trent took? It makes no sense.
It's just like the level of stupidity on these cops is just, how are you even alive? You're so stupid.
You forget to eat.
Right.
And you starve to death.
Exactly. Like, this is how stupid you are.
Did they ever at least like arrest Calabrese and the other guys that they could identify?
I bet they didn't. I bet they didn't even waste their time. I mean, the whole police force is so corrupt that even if you did attempt to arrest Calabrese, I feel like he would have just walked.
That's the thing, right? Dude, speaking of, another insane thing was him saying, like, I turned over the tape, but don't worry, I made a copy. It's like, first of all, the original has definitely probably been lost or destroyed in the meantime. And, like, no court is going to let you bring a copy of a tape from 7 years ago and use that as evidence in a trial. Like, there's no chain of custody on the evidence or whatever.
Right, there is no chain of custody here. Yeah.
So O'Malley opens up this briefcase and pulls out a pistol for Storm and says, I got more guns for you in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So Storm asks O'Malley, what happened with your career? The investigation into what happened at my house. O'Malley says, I worked on the case for 1.5 years. I was getting nowhere, getting a lot of resistance from all the other cops. And this was the moment they're walking together.
Yeah.
And it was like really like, holy shit, Seagal's jeans are tight.
So tight. Yeah.
Like I said,
like, there is nothing left in your
you could
imagination.
like count the amount of spare change in his pocket.
Yeah. I know. It is intense.
It was crazy.
I don't know how they even got him into those pants.
So O'Malley says, someone basically, like I was investigating whatever, but someone tried to kill my mother in a hit and run.
Yeah.
And it explains, like, she's like, her back was broken, she was crippled.
Yeah.
All this. So, of course, okay, that was the lady in the wheelchair.
And when we were watching, we were like, was she in
they
a
never,
wheelchair?
Yeah, they didn't ever, like, make that very clear. But when I went back to see it again, I'm like, oh, yeah, she is in a wheelchair.
All right.
Sure. So O'Malley says, then I got a note in my locker that night that said, like, the accident with my mom was no accident. So O'Malley says, basically my hands were tied, so I quit the police. O'Malley says, if it was just me, I would have kept on going, but I was worried about my family. I was worried about your kid. I was worried that they might figure out that you weren't really dead. It's like, this is actually like the only thing in the entire movie that actually makes sense.
Right.
The only thing that any character does in the whole flick that makes sense. I'm like, oh, no, for sure.
But he does all of this stuff and then doesn't provide a better point of contact.
Yeah.
He doesn't update his contact information at the hospital.
So Storm's like, no, you did the right thing, but now it's time for payback.
Yeah.
Storm says, we're outmanned, but we're going to win because we have superior attitude, superior state of mind.
What the fuck?
What?
Like he went to a self-help seminar.
And like, why are you whispering? Superior attitude, superior state of mind.
Oh my God.
Fucking what?
It's fucking wild, dude.
So Storm says, we're going to get everyone involved. We're going to fucking kill all of them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Then he whips out that pistol and just starts shooting up some flower pots.
If you're playing the destruction of private property game, take another drink, everybody.
Absolutely, man. Wrecking some more of that dude's property.
Unbelievable.
Now, Andy is getting closer to the ranch with the dirty cops are right behind her. They've added, there's a third car now.
Yes.
And if you saw 3 cars driving as close together as these 3 cars were, you would notice.
You'd be like, this is really weird. What's going on?
Even if you weren't like on high alert because your friend's been killed and you know people are looking for you.
You would notice this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I notice it when a car takes more than 2 turns with me. Right.
Yeah.
Like under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
Like that's weird. That
Do you
car's
do
still
that shit?
behind
Do you ever
me.
when you're coming home? Do you ever do that shit where you're like, is this fucking car following me? Let me drive past my house and then
I've done that once or twice.
do a weird series of turns and see if they keep following me.
Exactly.
Absolutely, man.
And I'm not harboring like a fugitive cop who's been in a coma for 7 years. Well, that you know of.
Not that I know of. Yeah. So, but back at the ranch, O'Malley is leaving. Storm tells him, go get my kid, get him out of that boarding school and hidden away someplace safe.
I mean,
does that even make sense?
No one knows where he is right now.
Yeah.
Like, just leave him where
one could argue,
is.
Yeah, one could argue it's safer to just not do anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, exactly.
But he says, the bad guys are probably already looking for my kid after they've realized that I was never dead. Maybe. I don't know.
No, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
So Storm says, I'm going to go collect that videotape of the meeting with Trent and the mob. He wants O'Malley to get the kid and then get the audio tape of the meeting, and we'll bring those tapes together to that TV reporter dump feed at the TV station.
Mm-hmm.
So the audio and the video are on two different, they're totally separate.
That's not how camcorders work.
What kind of shitty setup is that?
I mean, as big and giant as that thing was, like...
Yeah, you could record audio and video on the same thing in 83 for sure.
VHS existed.
It was a
in
thing.
83. Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But O'Malley leaves. So Storm goes back inside. He's thinking about what O'Malley had said about listening for phrases that repeat. And on the tape,
oh my God.
He finally comes to the realization that the mystery man on the tape also had said, like, you can take that to the bank.
So he realized something that the audience knew 5 minutes into this movie.
Yeah. And watching Seagal, like, pretend to be deep in thought is hilarious.
It's like watching Homer Simpson pretend to be deep
It's
in
not
thought.
his forte.
No.
He was, like, doing way too much, like, crossing and uncrossing his arms.
Yeah.
I swear he sat down and did, like, Rodin's, like, the thinker pose. Like, he had his hand on his chin, or his head on his chin.
That's amazing.
So then he's like, I've heard Senator Treat say that every single fucking TV commercial since I woke up from this coma. And all of a sudden, like, all the pieces start falling into place in Storm's brain. I feel like you can, like, hear gears turning and, like, creaking and clunking. Yeah, he's working it all out in his fucking caveman brain. Then Storm's like, I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank. Fucking what?
Oh my God.
That's some terribly bad
Dude,
writing.
what? I can't. It's
to the
just,
blood bank.
Oh my God, dude.
And then there was that bizarre, like, musical, like, heavy drumming. Like,
Yeah.
bum, bum, bum.
This movie, oh my God. It's just,
That was
anyway.
that was an all-time cheeseball line.
Dude, it is. I can't imagine anybody, even in 1990, watching this movie and hearing that line and going, damn, that was badass.
The
son."
blood bank.
I mean, people weren't fucking stupid in 1990. A bad line of dialogue is a bad line of dialogue.
No, that's corny.
It's so fucking corny.
So about this
Oh, my
time,
God.
Storm hears a car pulling up outside, and he pulls that pistol out. And he sees the silhouette of someone approaching through, like, these paper blinds, which is clearly a woman.
Clearly a woman.
But yet he's prepared to gun down whoever it is that walks through this door. Of course, it's Andy.
Surprising no one.
And yet, even after she walks through and it's Andy, he sticks the fucking gun right in her face. Like, he puts the muzzle between her eyes.
Oh, my God.
And Andy's fighting back tears as she tells Storm, my nurse friend Marcia was killed. They hug it out. The porno sax music's playing, and fucking Storm's like, it's okay, calm down.
Yeah.
Like, get over it, bitch.
Also, what a great, like, intro to a porn movie.
Yes. My friend was killed.
My friend was killed. All right,
Let's
baby.
fuck you so
Let's
you can
fuck.
forget about it.
Right, exactly.
Storm tells her that O'Malley came by thanks to her tracking down the mother at the retirement home.
Yeah.
Storm tells her, my son's still alive. Fucking full sociopath mode. Because he's basically like, no, it's okay that your friend's dead because, it helped
Right.
us to find my
Dude,
son.
just like the most sociopathic behavior unbelievable. Even the characters that he's playing in movies somehow end up being sociopaths.
Yeah. It's art imitating life.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But so they start making out. Storm says, we got to get out of this ranch house pronto. So cut to, they're upstairs packing suitcases.
Packing. And she says something like, this will be the fastest packing job I've ever done. I'm like, bitch, just leave.
Just leave. Get the hell out of there.
What the fuck is wrong
Why
with you?
are they bothering with suitcases? But we see already like goons are there. They're entered the house, led by Axel with a shotgun.
Motherfucker loves his goddamn shotguns.
Yeah. We got Goodhart and another like miscellaneous goon. They're downstairs with assault rifles. That was Dean Norris. Storm and Andy are like bickering over the packing process like they're an old married couple because it's like, where's my bathrobe?
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
you're packing a fucking bathrobe.
Just get the fuck
this?
out of here. Why are you still here?
And then Storm's like, give me my jeans and jacket, which I feel like is like literally the only clothes he has. Like, where did he get clothes in a suitcase from?
That's my point. Like, they fled directly from the hospital to here.
He doesn't have a whole wardrobe.
Have clothes.
Yeah.
Neither does she, quite frankly.
Then it's like, hurry up. And she's like, I'm just about done.
Yeah.
And all this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
It's just, anyway.
Another random goon, like, jumps down from apparently up on the roof, like, down onto the balcony. And rather than shooting them through the glass, he's, like, fumbling to open the sliding door.
Just like, what the fuck, dude?
And I feel like if they weren't doing all that arguing, they probably would have heard that there was a man up on the roof,
like stomping around.
Yeah. But then at that moment, Axel pops out in the doorway, and Storm quickly just takes the shotgun away from him and uses it to shoot the balcony goon.
Right.
It was just very poorly executed plan by the goons. So now Storm and Andy, they flee out into the hallway where Goodhart and his buddy start shooting at him with these like fully automatic machine guns from the ground floor, but they don't hit either of them because they've ducked down behind like the little half wall.
Right, and they're not even shooting at the half wall. They're shooting above the half wall.
They had whatever, military weapons. They could shoot right through the fucking sheetrock.
Easily, yeah.
I noticed there's this like weird... The wall that was getting hit with all the squibs was like a fake wall.
Oh, no,
it
I
was
didn't
like
notice that.
You could see the seams in the sheetrock. Like,
oh, wow.
Like they built a second wall because they couldn't tear up the wall of the house they were filming
so they put
in.
the squibs all behind the fake wall.
So they built another wall on top of the wall. It was very oddly done.
No, I did not notice that. Good spot.
But then suddenly, like, Goodhart and his guys, both their guns jam at the same time.
And conveniently they say, it's jammed.
It's jammed. So Storm pops out shooting with his pistol, and he guns them both down. Except that stunt double for Goodhart, for Dean Norris, looked so unlike him that I got confused.
He had a full head of hair.
He had a full head of dark hair, and Dean Norris was like a balding blonde guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Who is this guy?
Yeah, what the
that was
fuck
what
is
I was
going
thinking.
on?
What's happening right now? Oh no, that's supposed to be him. He like had a totally different like body type, like a different build.
Yeah.
But so then another nameless goon approaches with like this really fake knife, and he's got the drop on Storm and has the knife to his throat or whatever, but doesn't stab him
because he's the hero.
So then Storm just like swats the knife away,
of course,
and they start fighting. So this is our other drinking game.
Yeah, another drinking game.
Every time that Storm just swats a deadly weapon away, as if it's just a minor inconvenience, you got to take a drink. But you're gonna die if
There's
you
so
keep
many
up with
drinking
this.
games going on right now.
So Storm knocks that guy down. Then another goon with a pistol pops out. He just kicks the gun out of the guy's hand.
Take a drink.
And flips him over the banister. Yeah, take a drink. That dude was just standing there with the gun waiting for Storm to kick it out of his hand. You know? Now, the knife goon, he picks the knife back up, comes back at Storm, but Storm just grabs his arm and breaks it and slams him into this like china cabinet.
Private property destruction. Take a drink.
Take another drink.
Take a drink for gratuitous limb breaking.
He sort of snapped that arm in like an awesome fashion.
Christ.
But he broke this like whole cabinet of priceless like Ming vases or whatever, I imagine. So now Storm tries to hurry Andy out of the house, but there's more goons down there at the front doors. And I don't even know where all these goons are coming from.
No,
this is way more than 3 cars worth of goons.
This is like a Call of Duty game when you're in a shooting gallery and there's an infinite number of enemies and you hit a checkpoint.
Like I'm like, are they all cops?
I don't know, man.
Wouldn't it be news that like half the department got killed at some big shootout in Ojai.
Oh my God, that'd
Like
be
all these
amazing.
off-duty cops got killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
A dozen off-duty cops.
I mean, they'll just blame it
killed
on
in
Storm.
Ojai.
I mean, like they blame everything on Storm. You know, like wildfires in LA, they blame it on Storm. It's Storm's fault.
So Storm and Andy, they hit the deck as all these bad guys are shooting through the door.
Yeah.
Again, Storm is able to kill one guy with a pistol despite being like severely outgunned.
Yeah.
The one dude had this like pump action, like street sweeper, like the big revolver shotgun, rad gun. So this army of goons is coming out of the woodwork. Storm and Andy take cover behind this little coffee table thing where Storm produces as like a stun grenade.
Where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah, absolutely. We never saw that before. But he lobs this grenade at the goons. It stuns them. He pops up shooting, kills some more guys. He grabs Andy again, rushes her out the back door. Super pissed off, like Axel comes running in. He's yelling on his walkie-talkie that they went out the back. He's hopped up on top of the coffee table and he's like screaming and like whatever.
I don't know why he gets on the coffee table. Jesus Christ.
But so then we got Quintero and the captain are out like in the driveway. They fire up their car. Storm and Andy hop in that Jeep and they speed out of there with these guys shooting after them. There was like dudes up on the roof for some reason.
I don't know why they're on the roof. Yeah.
But more cars are arriving with more goons that block the little road out of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Quintero and the captain are trying to block them from like getting out of the driveway, but Storm evades them and just like goes airborne through this fence or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're driving through this open field and there's just goons shooting at them from all directions, including goons who are standing in the middle of the field for some reason.
Why were they in the field?
Why are you in the middle
none
of the field?
This makes any sense.
There's no reason to think that being in the middle of the field would be a place you want to be.
Right, exactly.
You know?
I want to know the backstory of that goon and like how he got the job of standing in the field.
And there's some sort of like Buddhist gazebo out in the middle of the
what was
field
that
or
about?
whatever.
That
It
was
was
so
like
weird.
there was a Buddha, but it was like it looked very like it was like trellis and like lattice work or whatever. But these dudes driving the Jeep like right at these guys at the gazebo. And there was this weird shot where the film had been flipped.
Yeah, that's right.
Where like the Jeep was backwards, like you
it
could
was
see
European
Storm
style.
like
He
he was on the wrong side of the car.
But then they composited in the license plate to be the right way.
So it was like it was on the different side of the car than it had been in every other shot, but it was like animated in almost.
Yeah,
it was
the
like
license
a
plate numbers
drawn
were
in version.
it was so fucking weird. And it was only on screen for just long enough to notice it.
And we were like, why? That's so jarring.
Yeah.
Like you were the one pointing out it must have been that they had
It had to be a line of action.
It had to be a line of action where it'd be like jarring, like now it seems like it's driving to the left
All
instead
of the
of the
action
right.
had been coming toward the frame or to the left of the frame.
Yeah, it's like the 180-degree rule we used to call it. Like,
and then this one shot, the car is driving to the right of the
wrong
frame.
direction would throw the audience off in some fashion.
But then, like, if you're gonna swap it for that one brief scene, why take the time to correct the license plate? Because the least of your problems is the license plate. The fact that Mason is on the wrong side of the car is a much bigger thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to have been part of those discussions.
So fucking bizarre.
We're gonna pay some animator to come in and like
that was
do
money.
This.
They paid someone to animate those frames.
You got to fix this for us.
This is so fucking bizarre.
It's like fix our wrong shots.
So it's just like remember in Titanic how Cameron wanted to get a particular shot, but he couldn't get the angle because the camera couldn't fit. And so they had to shoot it on the other side of the boat.
Okay.
And so they made in all of the costumes, they did mirrored versions of the costumes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It cost like $100,000 to do this because he wanted a shot.
But Cameron is a
scene.
perfectionist.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's going to do that shit.
Yeah. He fixed it. This movie is not a Jim Cameron
hot
movie.
trash. This is like this is a grindhouse movie.
This straight up grindhouse.
This is like a pulp action
Dude.
flick.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck about any of this.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry, that was an aside.
No. But so Storm is driving at these guys and he smashes into both of them, but they go like flying through the air, like getting hit by the cars, like A-Team style stunts where the dudes just go flying.
Yeah.
And it's like they
like
don't
they
seem to be
they're
hurt.
on springs.
Of course. Oh yeah. So then he smashes through the gazebo.
Drink.
That was an expensive bit of damage.
Yeah.
So Storm, then he drives through this fence on the other side of the field, and they've escaped. And then Andy's like, "Oh, I forgot to lock the door."
Yeah.
It's like fucking
Dude,
okay, hilarious.
Drink for bad one-liners.
Yeah.
Telling you, if you're not blackout drunk at this point playing these games, then you're not doing something right.
So now we see that shot of like the horse that was in the field, like running out the gate, and
running
escaping
from the gate. Yeah,
You get it?
yeah.
Symbolism.
Oh my God.
See, Storm has been unleashed, and now the horse has been unleashed. It's very intellectual stuff here.
Ugh, fuck.
But so later on, we got Storm and Andy. They've arrived back in Los Angeles, and they pull up beside these like Latino dudes who are either trying to steal an old beat up Camaro, or they were just trying to get it running again.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't tell what they were supposed to be doing.
I don't know what was going on here.
But Storm pops out of that Jeep. He hits him with a little Spanish. He's like, "Oh yeah, hermano," and it's like, "Fucking what?"
Yeah, I know.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
hermano. Like, dude, that's offensive. It's like when you go. It's like if you're talking about like Mexico.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm
Exactly.
Like,
It's
dude,
like, dude,
I'm
just
affecting
say
a weird
fucking
fake
Mexico.
accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nah, dude, this is weirdly offensive to
Yeah.
me. But he asked the guys like, "Hey, you want to trade cars?" And the leader of the young Latin dudes is like, "How hot is it? How hot is this Jeep?" And so I was like, "It's smoking, man." And then they do the trade anyway.
And they even comment on the bullet holes in the windshield
Yeah.
of this vehicle.
Like, this looks like it's been in a war, man.
What the fuck, man?
Well, I'm like, are you just, if you're Storm, are you not just trading into another stolen vehicle?
I literally did not understand this scene at all. Like, I get it. They wanted to change vehicles so they couldn't be followed.
Yeah.
Sure. But why this way?
Yeah.
Like, this didn't make absolutely no sense. It was so frustrating.
Oh, yeah, hermano.
Oh, yeah, hermano.
What the fuck? Okay, gringo. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
What the fuck, dude?
But
Oye,
so Storm and Andy, they arrive at Storm's old house
Uh-huh.
to find there's like contractors there doing some renovation work.
How fucking convenient.
Yeah. They like go to put a tie on Storm, who had been wearing like a bunch of new clothes that they apparently stopped and like did a little shopping spree. He's dressed virtually identical to the way he was in the opening scene. Like the pattern vest.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But so Andy's like, "Oh, you should dress like this all the time." And she's like, "But next time you should buy your own clothes."
Right, on her
like,
credit card. Or, yeah,
it's some weird
it's
shit.
just some
being
weird
said.
thing. Yeah.
I felt like she's bounced back pretty strong from like her best friend being killed.
Yeah.
She's back to like cracking jokes.
Compartmentalized
and shit, you know?
it. Yeah. Yeah. She had a smoke. She's good.
Yeah. So they go to the door posing as like real estate agents who are in the area, and we want to check out your house so that we can know what costs, like what houses should cost in the neighborhood. I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense. The homeowner's like, "Yeah, we're not selling."
Right.
But she reluctantly, she lets him in anyway.
I guess you could come in.
Sure.
Like,
okay.
all right.
So Andy's like, "Well, show me some of the renovations," and like lures the woman away so that Storm can operate freely.
Yeah.
So then Storm has some more flashbacks to the night of the attack, which these flashbacks are just completely unnecessary.
No, just not. No.
We get it. Yeah, he's back in his house. Yeah, no.
There's so many unnecessary flashbacks in this movie that we haven't really even been going into.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So he goes to the pantry, and with brute force, he just like rips down this like door that's behind some wallpaper.
Exactly.
Causing like all this glass and shit to fall everywhere.
So we talked about this in episode 1, and if you don't remember, go back and re-listen to episode 1. And it's just like he's hiding the camcorder in that scene, right? Where he's in the fridge and he's pulling the champagne glasses out of the fridge and then in the icebox, and so he's all over the kitchen in this sequence, and they don't do a good job of explaining that he's hiding the camcorder here. It's just gone in one scene.
Yeah.
And it feels like there should have been at least one insert shot of him putting the camera in a cupboard or something. Like anything to establish this.
I agree, because this makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
Like, I don't even know what the fuck that was supposed to be.
Was it like an ironing board thing?
It had the shape of an ironing board. Like, is that a thing like in old-fashioned houses? The ironing board is like built in and folds out?
That is a thing that has happened, that exists.
But like they just wallpapered over it?
Yeah, I know, exactly. That was like, you didn't even remove it. You just put wallpaper over top of it.
Or was it like, but there was a hole behind it. Like, was it like a laundry chute or something?
Right.
I don't know.
It was absolutely mysterious. And it was it was the exposed like 2x4s and everything.
Yeah.
So this clearly wasn't a place that someone should be accessing regularly.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It was just absolutely bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre.
Like Storm reaches up into this hole
Yeah.
in the wall and he finds the camera still there. So the homeowner then is drawn by all the noise, and Storm tells her, your contractors are doing shitty work.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Clearly you did this. No one is believing it's the contractor. So if you're playing the bad one-liners game,
he's fucking up someone else's property.
And private double drink on that one. That was a double whammy. Yeah.
So Storm and Andy, they skedaddle out of there as the lady is like very confused about what the fuck's just happened.
Justifiably.
So now sometime later, Storm is talking on a payphone. They're outside the Westin Hotel, which has the same like strange design as the Westin in downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like it's all like mirrored glass and cylindrical and stuff. But Storm like concernedly is telling Andy that O'Malley's mom is saying that he left her place with the audio tape hours ago.
Yeah.
And Andy is like, we just need to focus on getting that videotape to the TV station. She said it doesn't matter about the cassette tape. And it's like, but yes, it does. You need the audio.
Right.
Right?
I guess if we're assuming that the audio and the video were recorded on two different media.
Separate, yeah.
Yeah, then we absolutely need that fucking tape.
Yeah. I don't know. So Storm is like, tells O'Malley's mom, okay, we're outside the Westin Bonaventure Hotel. You need to tell O'Malley to call the hotel and leave a message under Andy's name at the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
A message telling them what exactly?
I don't know.
Was never specified.
Nope.
So we see, though, that Quintero and another goon had Allie's mom's, like, a house under surveillance. They heard everything.
It wasn't clear to me if they had bugged her phone or had a microphone.
They had a parabolic mic.
Oh, they did have a parabolic mic.
Yeah, he had the big mic. So it's like they overheard everything because her like senile old ass
can't have an inner monologue,
repeating everything out loud. Leave Andy at St. Bonaventure Hotel. Leave message for Andrea Smith.
Oh my God.
It's fucking crazy.
Jesus Christ.
But elsewhere, we see that O'Malley has arrived at the boarding school, I guess, to collect Storm's son.
I guess so, yeah.
Now, later on that evening, we see O'Malley and his mom and the kid are at O'Malley's mom's house, like packing shit up to go on the run. O'Malley calls the hotel to leave whatever fucking unspecified message he was supposed to leave.
Like a mini MacGuffin? I don't know what this is.
So O'Malley then and the kid load into O'Malley's car and they leave. And he's telling that kid some shit like, boy, when we finish this, we're going to go deep sea fishing and we're going to catch the biggest fish in the whole ocean. And I'm not talking about no goldfish either. It's like,
well,
no, I get it.
We figured that out.
Yeah. So Quintero and his new sidekick are there, though, and they are like following them. So Axel and the captain and several other goons now have arrived at the hotel.
Yeah.
Where they like run afoul of the valets. Like Axel, who's like just drunk on his goon status, like just gets physical with one of the valets for some reason. Like shoves him back on the hood of the car and is like, "Get out of my way!"
Again, another instance in this movie where it's like unnecessary violence. Like,
yeah, it's nuts.
You don't need to be calling attention to yourself right now.
So the captain, though, he goes to the desk and he flashes a badge.
So clearly he's
still a cop.
Or maybe he just had his shield from when he was a cop and uses it as a prop. I don't know.
He says basically what message was left here for Andy.
Mm-hmm.
So then now outside the hotel, Storm and Andy pull up and walk in. No idea where they've been the past few hours.
Nope, not a clue.
But there's like a mariachi band playing on the street, and there's a steel drum band playing inside. It was weird.
So strange.
Andy walks up to the front desk, asks if there's any messages for her. But she couldn't even deliver that line believably. It was like a weird reading she gave on that shit. But Storm is watching all this from hiding. So Andy returns, says O'Malley left a message that he's got the tape and the kid. They're going to Union Station. Now, no sooner does Storm say, we got to get out of here, than he notices that Axel is there. Oh, shit. He takes Andy's hand, tries to like rush her out of there, but they're boxed in. For no reason in particular, one of the goons just goes running through this fountain.
Like, why did you need to run through the fountain, dude?
Completely unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. But so they tell Storm, come along peacefully. The Storm chooses violence. He kicks the nearest goon like through this plate glass window.
Private property.
Into like a store that's there in the lobby of the hotel.
It's just, yeah.
So they go into the store. He picks that dude up and throws him through another window on the other side of the store that's like out onto the street where they pop right out next to the mariachi band. Now, just then a valet is bringing this red Corvette around. And Storm just throws Andy into the car and hops in and they speed off. And the owner was like, You can't do that to Dallas.
Cowboy,
like, this
whose
cowboy
name
ass
is
character.
Dallas.
Yeah, I love that shit. So the captain is yelling like, "Bring the other cars around!" And it's like, maybe if you hadn't slapped the valets around
He'd
earlier,
be working with you a little bit better. Yeah, yeah.
But so Storm goes speeding away, but there's somehow like already just black and whites everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
And it's like, where do these cops come from?
Yeah.
Because I would assume the bad guys are not like trying to call in the real police unless they had to.
Yeah, and so this is like, so we're trying to give the movie the benefit of the doubt by saying maybe all these cops resigned and worked for the senator, and so they were sort of a part of the senator's inner circle.
Yeah.
Right? But then all of that is just blown out of the water when within minutes of any of this happening, you've got all of these fucking uniformed officers showing up at the scene.
Yeah, it was like a dozen cars arrived simultaneously. But so Storm does some wild shit where he throws the car in full reverse and is just speeding down the road backwards. But then he whips it around and like crashes the rear end into a police car.
Shatters the whole back of the car.
It was a pretty sweet little like driving stunt.
Yeah, it was. But like,
I never seen that before in a movie, but he did. He tore the shit out of that.
It was. Oh God, that was painful.
But they've escaped.
They did. They made it.
So
they made it.
That's I think where we will leave you for this week, though, listeners. Woo!
Exciting.
I'm ready. It's all action from here on out.
All action from here on out. The best of these types of movies are, right?
Yes.
By the time we get to episode 5, if there's something other than action happening, we've done something wrong.
Absolutely. But thank you, everyone, as always, for listening along with us to our ramblings, our drunken buffoonery.
Ooh, that's the best kind of buffoonery.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, we'll be back next week with the exciting conclusion of Hard to Kill, Steven Seagal's magnum opus. I don't know. Until then,
we'll be back.